Hi guys, Phil here, talking about being a tech entrepreneur. Today, let's talk about the habits that you need to develop if you're going to be successful. I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, it's a clickbaity kind of title. Habits? Really? We're going to talk about habits? Let's talk about something serious. Habits are perhaps the most important skills you need to have if you're going to be successful. There's a lot of things out there, highly effective people, artists, this, of that, but not a lot to talk specifically about what I want to talk about, which is being a developer entrepreneur, being a tech entrepreneur, being the person who, writes the code, but also comes up with a business and launches the business. So that's what this channel is about. That's what these videos are about for the most part. And that's what I want to talk about with this list. Before I get into the list, a little bit about myself. I've started, I should have thought about this before I made the video. At least half a dozen companies, probably more than that. And some of them have been hugely successful, and some of them have been huge failures. And some have been in the middle. Yeah, it's been a lot more than 6 now that I think about it. So those are 6 of probably only the ones I want to remember. And, I'm not one of these people. I'm not here to tell you how to write software so much. I'm not here to tell you what to do as far as if, then, else statements, though I could, maybe I will, later on in another video. I'm here to tell you how to come up with an idea, develop a piece of software, and create a successful business by yourself with few investments. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into it. Okay, habit number 1 of being an effective, successful developer entrepreneur. Habit number 1, daily work. Sounds kind of silly or simple, but you need to work on building your skills every day. And by work on building your skills, I don't mean just writing software. Just writing software does not really build your skills so much. We're going to talk about this later in point number 4. Sorry, it's a bit noisy. It's a bit warm, so the window's open. So, daily work, and I mean 30 minutes to an hour every day focused on learning something new, learning a new pattern, learning a new focal point, whatever it is. At least every day, focus on building your skill, not just using your skill. Habit number 2, volume, not perfection. Everybody talks about, I'm going to skip over and talk about artists for a second. Picasso has, arguably, a couple dozen famous pieces of work. The man produced thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of work. And we need to think about that as a developer. We should be saying, especially as a developer entrepreneur, my thing is develop this minimum viable product, though maybe I would go a little bit further than an MVP, but you want to get your product like 80% of the way there and release it into the wild. Worry about that 20% later if people are actually using it. And get as many products out there, as many services out there. Focus on a niche, ideally, but build out features, build out new services, and as many as you can, because as Wayne Gretzky said, you can't score a goal if you don't shoot the puck at the net. And we want to shoot as many pucks at the net as possible. So volume, not perfection. Point number 3, habit number 3, steal. I know that stealing kind of gets a bad rap, but we, as developers, we can't think of everything, all by ourselves. We shouldn't exist in a vacuum. And what I find is a great source of inspiration is to look at other people, other products in my space and say, oh, they're doing that. Oh, they're doing that. And, there's a difference if you do that for one competitor only, then you're plagiarizing. But, if you steal from one, you're a thief. If you steal from many, you're a genius. So I say look at as many different people as possible, as many different services as possible, and create what James Altucher calls the... Sorry, I hit the microphone. Create what James Altucher calls the intersection. You want to be the master of your intersection. And of course, your intersection is ideas that you've taken from all over. So steal. Point number 4, conscious learning. This is kind of what I was alluding to in point number 1, daily work. Just writing code every day or doing whatever it is you need to do for your business every day isn't actually going to make you a better developer as fast as it could. So you need to say, okay, I need to learn this. And for me, what I do is basically for every major component and even not so major parts, I look and I see how other people are doing it. And this is not a lack of confidence in my ability to write software. And this is not a, copy and paste software creation. You want to go onto other platforms like Stack Overflow and GitHub and see, oh, this is how somebody else is doing it. This is how somebody else is doing it. Even if they're doing it in a different language, you can take the pattern, you can take the idea, and you can adapt that in. You want to evolve your code writing skills. If you think that, the way you're going to do it is the best way, completely independent, without any, verification of that, then you're arrogant and, quite honestly, foolish. So, conscious learning. Say, okay, today I'm going to learn how to, update web pages without having to reload the page. Today I'm going to learn how to write stimulus controllers. Today I'm going to learn how to do Node.js. Today I'm going to, these things like that. You understand what I'm saying? Conscious learning is the most important facet of becoming better. And that's the technical side. You can also do the same thing for the business side. Today I'm going to learn more about Facebook ads. Today I'm going to learn more about how YouTube works as a marketing platform. Today I'm going to learn more about graphic design. If you're one of these solopreneurs, you got to learn all that stuff. So do it focused and learn from the best sources. Don't just waffle around. Okay, point number 5, take a break. Sounds strange, but for me as a developer and in the other things I do, I find I work intensely on it for a little while, like a couple hours or whatever it is, and then I take a break. And I have a little reminder on my computer every 2 hours to drink water, because I often forget, or I go out and I take the dog for a walk, and it's during those times, that's when your subconscious works on the problem, and usually you get the best answers. So it's important to step away. Anybody who tells me, I spent 12 hours straight coding, you know what? You probably weren't effective at all. And probably you have to rewrite that. That is just, I know, and there's going to be people say, not me, man. I had 12 hours. Perfect. But whatever. My experience over the last 25 years is that you have to take a break. Habit number 6, get feedback. Get as much feedback as you can. So when you are already at the stage you've got the MVP and you put it up there, make sure you ask your users for comments about how they like it or how they don't like it. If you have a particular bit of code that is difficult or different, put it up on Stack Overflow and ask, I'm having some problems with this. Get feedback. Write a blog post. If you're not having a problem with it, if you think it's good, write a blog post about it and put that up there. Get feedback from things. I once met this film director, Japanese film director. And, I'd seen the film. I was at a film festival and I saw the film, and, the ending was kind of really weird. So I asked him, how did you, unsatisfying weird, not like weird, unsatisfying weird. And I said, how, when you created this film, did you test it? Because it's not unusual, you might be surprised to hear this, that you would show a film and test parts of the film, and see how the audience reacts. Because as a filmmaker, you're kind of there to evoke emotion in your audience. And this director, whose name, funnily enough, I can't remember, or the name of the film even, I can't remember, he said he would never ever change anything based on the input of somebody else. It was his project, he wrote it, he directed it, he was the master. And if you have that attitude as a developer, you're sunk. I'm telling you right now, you as a developer, entrepreneur will fail. Filmmaking and business running is a communal thing. So get feedback and improve yourself based on the feedback of others. And finally, habit number 7, create something that excites you. It's going to take quite some time to develop a product, or develop a platform, or develop a service, launch it, get customers in, evolve that, and maybe you want to eventually sell it, maybe you want to run it for a few years, whatever it is. The only way you're going to make that marathon is if you really want to, if you're really interested in it. And you know what? Being interested in making money from it is not enough. You have to really like what it is you're doing in the sector that you're in. You know, I'm working in right now doing services for Amazon sellers, and I myself am not an Amazon seller, but that's irrelevant because the product, ZonMaster, is about data integration, and I love kind of data integration and data parsing and stuff like that. And so this is manipulating tons of data, you know, that really interests me. And finding out the different things we can do with that data really interests me. And that keeps me going through the dry spells. Also, the other new service that we launched, Podchuck, which is about text-to-speech and incorporating speech and audio and background audio and things like that. I mean, I'm a musician. I love audio. Working with audio is really fascinating to me. You have to do something that interests you. So, first of all, have interests. It's amazing to me when I meet people who aren't interested in anything. So, have an interest in something and try and work in that area. You know, that's the area you know most. You're going to see the gaps in the market there. I don't understand people who don't work in an area of interest. Especially if you're a tech entrepreneur, you're creating something. Why would you create something in a space you're not interested in? But people do it, and I meet them. Yeah. So, there we go. Those are my 7 habits. Maybe this is a bit of a long, rambling video, and I had a mic problem in the middle. Anyway, I'm just going to recap the 7 in case I forgot something. Habit number 1, daily work. Improve yourself by at least doing 30 minutes or an hour a day of focused improvement. Habit number 2, volume, not perfection. Try and create as many new services as possible and get them out there into the public. Habit number 3, steal. Take your ideas from other sources, combine sources, and get them for inspiration. Habit number 4, conscious learning. Understand why you're doing what you're doing and improve yourself in certain areas, if it's in a marketing area or a development area. Conscious learning. Habit number 5, rest. Take a break every once in a while, several times a day. Take a break and let your subconscious work on the problem. Number 6, feedback. Get as much feedback as possible from as many different people, potential customers, current customers, mentors in the different facets of running a business or creating software. Get feedback. And finally, number 7, create something that you love or interests you. It's the only way to make it through the long haul. I hope you find this video interesting. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I don't know if I did that right in that right order. Whatever it is people tell you to do. And other YouTube channels, do it on mine too. And as always, leave comments if this video triggers something in you or you want to talk about some of those points. I'm here to chat. See you soon.